Hey everyone, in this AP Chem series video, we'll see what acids and bases actually are. Now, most of us already have some established ideas about what acids and bases are. Maybe you know about the citric acid present in citrus fruits like lemons, or the base ammonia used in common household cleaners. You might even know about this thing called the pH scale that measures whether solutions are acids and bases. You may have used these little pH strips that change color when you dip them in solutions based on that solution pH. And if you've had a chemistry class before, you might even know that putting certain metals like this chunk of magnesium into an acid, you get teeny tiny little hydrogen bubbles. And all that information is really great to have, but in this video we're going to take a look at some specifics about acids and bases. Let's start looking at acids. So what are they? Well, acids are usually just molecules, covalently bonded molecules to be exact, and what makes them special is that they contain the element hydrogen. Like this classic example of an acid, HCl, hydrochloric acid, you can see it contains a hydrogen atom, so it's a very simple one, and they can be more complex too, like this acetic acid molecule shown here. So while these are both examples of acids, what really gives them their acidic behavior and what we think about as an acid is what happens when they get added into water. So when in water, the hydrogen atoms that you see in both of these molecules are going to do something very special. They will dissociate, break off, and ionize away from the rest of the molecule. In the HCl, that H splits off into an H+, leaving behind a separated Cl-, and in the acetic acid, it's the hydrogen attached to the oxygen here shown in red that breaks off, leaving behind the same H+ and negative ions. So these negative ions that are produced really don't have anything to do with why these substances are acids. It's all about that H+ ion. Those H+ ions are highly reactive particles, and they result in most of the properties that we typically associate with acids. That information makes up some of the key ideas for this video. Make sure to take some time and write those down. Now let's switch and talk about bases. Bases are a little bit different. They can be ionic substances that contain a very special ion called the hydroxide ion, OH-. We will also see some bases that are covalently bonded molecules, just like the acids. Examples of this commonly contain the element nitrogen and might look something like ammonia, NH3. So we kind of have two different types of bases here, and regardless of which type you're dealing with, both of them, when added to water, will produce OH- ions that have been ionized and dissociated away from the rest of the substance. Those OH- ions are what result in most of the properties typically associated with bases. Make sure to take some time and write down those key ideas too. And that wraps up this video on acids and bases and what they are. Thanks a lot for watching, and here's a brief summary.